Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Mecca of Banter podcast. I will be your host this week, Bucci Main. I'm super glad to be back with my mates here, my best mates. To you guys, I love you and I appreciate you for, my absence from coaching and putting up with me. I appreciate you guys very much.
Man, the top high school coach in the state of Missouri, boys.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and check in on these lads. We'll start off with a man who might still be frustrated after yesterday.
Frustrated way to put it.
How are we doing
sure.
over there, man?
I wrapped up a 4-day bachelor party golf trip bender on Sunday morning, and then watched the North London Derby with one of my very good buddies and diehard Arsenal fan. So you could probably imagine the Sunday scaries were extreme, just unbelievable. What I went through on Sunday, I wouldn't put on any other football fans, but it won't be the first time that it happens, and that's just life. But other than that, hanging in, doing good. Nice to be here.
Great to have you, bro. And I hope that you enjoyed many Pepsis and Mountain Dews on that bachelor trip.
I do not want any more. I'm done. Catch me next week. We'll see if we say the same. Yeah.
You're all sugared out. All right, to the other side, a man who's extremely happy. Look at the smirk on his face. He's looking so cute over there with his headphones, man. He's in a great mood. He's in a good place. Arsenal is top of the league. Winks, how we doing, bro?
Oh, so fucking good. I, like Hoove, was also on a golf trip this weekend with my boys. A bender that ended at about 10 p.m. Eastern time Sunday night. So, didn't get to watch the majority of the game live. We were playing golf at the time, but kind of had it up sporadically and was checking the score in between holes and things like that. And obviously, after the first half, didn't get to watch a ton of the first half, but just from looking at the score line, I was like, this Sunday couldn't get any better. And then obviously got a little nervy at the end. And then when I watched it back and actually watched the game, obviously I have very different thoughts about it. But no, very, very excited about Sunday and about our other Premier League game in the week. But just good to see you guys too. Excited to dive into it all.
Great to see you too, brother. Heading over to the I'm not even going to say the blank corner because I don't like saying that, but this man's got probably the best mustache this side of the Missouri. Hide your wives, hide your girlfriends. Hey, Dobes, how we doing over there, bro?
Dobes checking in from the United Corner. What's going on, fellas? I'm missing my partner tonight, Hen. But don't worry. I'll have enough to say. Honestly, fellas, at this point, I've continuously just been counting down the days until the season's over. And honestly, I'm still kind of shitting myself about this Arsenal game in 2 weeks more than anything, to be completely honest with you. But nonetheless, we had 2 games to cover. We didn't lose either of them, so that's a positive after the last month. But happy to be here. Good to see you, fellas. Ton of shit went on this weekend. And for all of our teams. So a ton to dive in. I'll have my fair share of banter still today, fellas.
Love that. And last but not least, over in the Chelsea corner, we've got the king of all kings, the man with the slickest comb over this side of the Missouri. Hey, how we doing, man? What's up, man?
What's up, brother? I'm thrilled to be here, boys. I thoroughly enjoy this podcast and getting on here to banter with you guys every week. I am not celebrating 3 points at all, but we are still here. I love to banter about this stuff. I thought there was some great footy this weekend that I was able to watch. As always, you can find me on Twitter at
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
I still think is blue, but we're good.
That's a hot take there, man. That's a hot take. You know what? I'm colorblind, so I don't know what color line it is.
Right now.
I'll tell you what, it ain't that shade, But ladies and gentlemen, hey, for all our listeners out there, this episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Manscaped. Did you know that one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? In fact, testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer amongst men aged 15 to 35. With April being National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, our friends over at Manscaped have partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn how to check yourself for early signs of cancer. And as always, you can use promo code MECCA20 for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. That is MECCA20 for 20% off at free shipping at manscaped.com. Manscaped, we appreciate you.
We're
Dang.
trimmed up.
Still
over here. I
been
can
using that
confirm
conditioner several
Maybe a
times
little
a week,
TMI,
guys.
but
Oh, it's
Still
amazing.
haven't run out
sponsored,
somehow,
so
too.
obviously.
But
Little goes a long way, baby. Yeah, their products are amazing, man. All right, we're going to kick it off with the Premier League this week. We got to cover quite a few games, so we will go as quickly as possible while giving as much banter as possible and giving each other as much shit as possible. We're going to start with Liverpool. Oh, shit, that's not fun. So, Liverpool lost 2-0 to Everton. A lot of controversy in this one, fellas. A lot of controversy, and then a 2-2 tie, Liverpool at West Ham. I think you could say that the title hopes have definitely gone down quite a few percentages. I'm not a math guy, but you guys can throw a percent out if you want.
He teaches Spanish, everyone.
Yes, I don't teach mathematics.
Not a math guy.
I don't teach mathematics, but the percentage has drastically dropped. But obviously, two very disappointing results for Liverpool. A lot of things going on with Liverpool right now. With the new manager is confirmed. He's coming in, Mr. Arnie. Okay, we got Arnie coming in in the summer.
Can't even say his name without laughing.
He's Arnie to me. He'll be my coach, but I'm calling him Arnie. Okay, I can't say Arn. Arn just doesn't sound. He's Arnie. Okay.
Make a wish, Ten Hag, man.
That's the first thing that Dopes texted me. He goes, "How are you gonna like the Make-A-Wish Ten Hag, man?" But obviously, guys, I'm very disappointed because a month ago we were in prime position to at least ride this out and keep it competitive, and we dropped points against two teams that you did not expect them to drop points to. So that hits me in the soul because it sucks.
Truly.
Like if we had lost to Spurs or a really good team, I'd be like, okay, we lost.
Easy there. Easy.
Spurs are fantastic. Spurs played great yesterday. They're a good team. But losing to Everton, obviously, we hate Everton more than anybody at Liverpool. That's the rival inside the city. And then the draw against West Ham was just hard to take. But a lot going on. You got the Klopp Salah argument. I'm going to say this. Dobes has been waiting. I'm going to say this, okay?
I've been waiting for this.
I don't know what was exactly said in that moment. No, none of us know what Klopp said or what Mo said back to him on Sunday against or
just for
Saturday.
The listeners, you should describe what happened.
Yeah, so basically in the 70-something minute, Klopp was subbing Salah on into the game, and it was still a very close game. It was still, I think they had just tied the game when Mo came on. West Ham did it to make it 2-2. Mo wanted to come on earlier than the 79th minute, obviously. If I'm Salah, I have a point. I'm your best player. I've been your most important player at the club for the last half a decade. Put me on sooner. Yes, I agree. But I don't know what was said, and I don't know
Coach Butchart.
And I don't know why Klopp didn't put him on, but at the same time, hold on, double-edged sword. At the same time, I don't think that's a good moment for Salah to make it about himself when you're in the middle of a game that you have to win. You got to go find a goal. Don't be causing a rift on the sidelines when all your teammates and the whole world can see it. Save it for the locker room later. go into the game and try to make an impact and just keep your mind right. Obviously, he goes into the game. He's all pissed off. They just got in a 30, 45-second argument. They're barking at each other. There's no need for that outside the dressing room. You don't want people to see that stuff. It's the same thing at any level, high school, college. You don't do it out in the open when all eyes are on you, because all the eyes are on you. You got to save that for behind the scenes. And so I agree with the fact that it shouldn't have been said. But I don't know why Klopp didn't bring him on faster, because I definitely think we could have and should have brought him on sooner than the 79th minute. But the only person that can answer that is Jurgen Klopp, why he kept him off the field. So obviously the squad was rotated for this game. Salah didn't start. Nunez didn't start. Szoboszlai didn't start.
That's not performance-based?
I don't think it's performance-based. I think we played 3 days before.
It has nothing to do with getting beat 2-0 3 days before.
Brother.
Missing some sitters.
Hold on, Dobes. Hold on a second. If I'm in a title race, you
Not
and I
anymore.
both know. Hold on a second. Dobes and I both know, and he's going to agree with me, and he knows I'm right. If we're in districts and we barely got through the first round and some of our guys didn't play good, our best players, you're going to sit them in the playoffs?
We're good coaches. You know, I don't know.
You gotta have but I'm saying you gotta have the conversation behind the scenes before the next game. Like, hey, you better pick your shit up right now, or we're out.
The only difference I'll say is that like City literally rested Erling Haaland, rested Phil Foden, and still got the job done. So like that's probably his thought process. There is probably what he's thinking.
Yeah,
I think the Klopp Salah thing is like music to my ears, because I have had to sit and listen to Jamie Carragher for 10 years, sit there and say that the players are wrong, the manager's always right, Pogba's wrong, Sancho's wrong, the manager's right. And then Jamie Carragher comes out, he's like, you know what? We don't have to pick sides in this, guys. We don't have to be on Salah's side.
He's such a wank.
We don't have to be on Klopp's side. It can be just a dispute. It's like, fuck off, dude. Fuck right off.
no,
Classic Liverpool.
I do agree. Carragher gets on my nerves, and he's a Liverpool legend. He gets on my nerves, man. He just, I'm with you that I think this needs to be behind closed doors. I'm going to leave it there. This should have never happened in the public eye, but it didn't make things better. It's already a tough, tense situation when we had dropped points before. Your title hopes are already fading, and then you basically, I'll say it, our title hopes are down the shitter. I mean, City is not going to draw or lose.
But we're playing the kids.
The only team that could beat them is who?
I don't know.
That's it. They're not going to lose to the other teams they're playing. They're not going to lose to Fulham or whoever they have left. Yeah. So it's a two-horse race. Arsenal and City are going for it here. Obviously, City have the game in hand. So I know Winks will be wearing a Spurs jersey the day that they play Spurs, because he's going to be on his hands and knees begging for a draw. But obviously.
But before we move on from Liverpool, but it has to be said. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at the Premier League table. It looks a lot like Liverpool at one point of the season. We're like a little bit close to 6 points clear at the top.
Bottles?
Bottles?
Bro, we weren't 12 points clear.
Bottles?
We weren't 12 points clear.
Just because their bottle was bigger doesn't mean yours isn't a
Hold
bottle.
on a second. Hey, 6 points is 2 games, bro.
Bro,
You
You're
may
not
be
wrong.
talking about
But you're
bottles.
not
I'm
wrong.
talking about
I never,
this.
Dobes, never did it ever cross my mind that Liverpool was going to win the title this year. So I don't think they bottled.
I was pretty nervous. I can't lie. I was pretty nervous up until Amad Diallo became a United legend for ending Liverpool.
That started the downfall.
Yeah.
No, obviously, Dobes, I'm disappointed. Obviously, the title hopes are gone. So you just got to ride through the year. We're going to be in the Champions League, so that's a lock. But
This
you got to
new guy,
ride out.
Butchie, you like him or no?
Arnie?
Yeah. You in or out?
He was Spurs' fifth option.
They're boys now, guys. You didn't realize? Arnie.
He was your fifth option
No.
after 3 managers.
Bro, I'm all in. I'm all in on Arnie. I'm all in.
You don't have a choice.
I mean, I was going to say you got to be, but I mean,
I'm all in on Arnie.
do you even know who he is? You watch his stuff? Like,
Well,
I know so little about this guy.
no, they do play really attractive style of football.
I've heard
his win record, obviously, it's in the Dutch
I've
league,
heard
but
a
it's
lot
very
about
impressive.
guys
So
in
it'll
their,
be
and their
interesting
win
to see
records in the Dutch
what
league,
his first 6 months are, and I'm going to judge him on his first 6 months because what he can do to change.
Couple. Hey.
And some of them have a couple Eredivisie titles, not 0.
Good fact.
Yeah.
Facts.
Good fact.
No, but hey, we'll see what Arnie can bring.
Dude,
You got a nickname for him. You got to come up with a nickname.
I just can't
Armino
wait till he gets
influence
new
is
teeth.
insane out there in Merseyside.
I haven't seen his teeth. Are they that bad?
Well, no, I mean, all Liverpool managers just get fake ones, so.
Oh, that's true.
I know, it's wild. They all got the same doctor. That's what it is.
That's definitely true.
Asthma and teeth. That's what it is.
Yeah, definitely true. But I'm excited
You've got a summer.
We have our guy.
You've got a summer.
We'll judge him on the first 6 months. That's going to be the big thing. We'll see where he's at.
That's interesting that you're judging him immediately on the first 6 months.
I'm going to go 6 months, man. Because
I think you guys are going to lose some people.
At a place like Liverpool, you're not going to get more than that. You're going to get 6 months, dude.
Okay. I mean,
especially.
I'm giving the Ten Hag treatment, man. He's getting a week.
He's not Klopp.
7 days.
This guy's not Klopp.
Ten Hag would be out of a job if that was the case.
So you don't get rid of a guy like Klopp because he changed things. We have been so successful, but it took a little time. He has to take over for a legend like Klopp. He's not going to get the treatment that Klopp did because Klopp had a much bigger resume before he came here. This guy does not. So pressure's on to see what he does and who he brings. I think the summer window is huge. The summer window, we got to get a center back. We got to get a better wing back.
Van Dijk's gone?
I don't. I think Van Dijk sticks because he's Dutch, and this guy's Dutch. I think he's going to like that he's got a Dutch influence. I think he's going to embrace that. I think Gakpo will start to shine under this guy because he's also Dutch.
And Greg Berhalter, too.
And he'll bring a different philosophy.
Nunez, I mean.
I thought the same with Donnie, man. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
Yeah. Poor Donnie, man.
Yeah, doesn't work that way, man.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see what Arnie can do, but
summer is like almost as interesting as ours because I think Liverpool there's the potential for not a massive clear out, but some big name players potentially.
I heard you're on the table of signing this new player, Thiago,
because he plays a very much different style.
I heard he might be in the squad this year.
So.
Yes, he does. It'll be. Brother, I would have given anything to have a fit Thiago because he's a game changer. I miss the thumbs up, bro. I miss it. I missed all the thumbs ups, but he'll be gone. There'll be a few others on the way out. You could maybe throw Salah. He might follow him out. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's all. I'm gonna leave that for Liverpool, man. A lot of things that got to change with the new coach coming in, and we just got to finish the rest of this year strong. So we're gonna move on to United. A 4-2 win over Sheffield. Sheffield's a shite team, so we
Sheffield
expected
played
that.
you tough too.
But they did draw Burnley.
4-2 was flattering.
And Burnley's in 19th.
I'm not mad about the Burnley. Burnley had 1 loss in their last 8.
They got 2 goals.
I honestly, fellas, I'm kind of at this point with United to where the standards should be higher, but at the same time, like we're 4 games left from the end of the season to where like if we win, I'm happy. Like you know what I mean? Like we actually against Sheffield,
do know what you mean.
Yeah, for against Sheffield for the first 20-25 minutes, I think it was probably, and we saw Eriksen get his first start in forever, and he instantly made an impact. We saw that we did have the ability to sort of keep the ball, but then Onana pulled it and let Sheffield back in the game, and then that's all it takes. That's all it takes is one mistake.
Are you in or out on him? Like
I'm firmly in on him. Like
okay,
like firm,
on Onana.
Firmly,
he makes some incredible reaction saves sometimes, but like he also has a mistake in him.
Firmly in on Onana.
He makes the very tough saves, misses way too many very easy ones, and
Yeah,
that's a very tough thing to have.
But I think that's what separates you from winning a league and not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Having Casemiro as a center back doesn't help your goalie out, does it? Like,
True.
there's so many factors that go into that. But like looking at Sheffield, I'll keep saying it. It's the same thing. I'm happy with the win, and this was Bruno Fernandes has created. I think he's got something like 6 goals, 5 assists in like his last 6 games or something like that. And we've been clamoring to see sort of a performance like we saw from him.
He needs that
Against Sheffield. And truthfully, United this season has been like a team of moments. Like we've had moments that have got me excited. We've had Garnacho's goal. We've had big goals and big moments. We had McTominay that come back against Aston Villa. And truthfully, like watching Bruno Fernandes play football against Sheffield just like made me smile. Like that's all I can kind of ask for. His goal and his celebration. He's been one of my favorite players forever, and obviously everybody's kind of expected more out of him. And truthfully, he hasn't had a terrible season. He's got 26 goals and assists this season. He's had no help the last 3 games. I think he's created 9 chances in each of the games, so he's getting no help. And with that, 9 chances created in a game is like, I think it's out of the last 3 seasons, only one person's created 10 twice, and then there's Bruno Fernandes who's created 3 like 6 or 7 times after that. So truthfully, I'm just happy to see Bruno. Bruno be successful and kind of turn back into that player he is, because I don't know where we'd be without him. And then honestly, against Burnley, it's exactly what you'd expect. I mean, like we looked great. We had decent possession. Burnley had a few chances, and it takes one Casemiro. I'm not blaming that on Onana by any means by chance. It's one Casemiro stupid mistake, thinking he's experienced in the box. Boom, puts Onana in a bad spot. It's a pen. I think it probably is a pen. But then it's a goal, and it's 1-1. And honestly, fine. Like I should be mad at it, but fine. Like at this point, I'm honestly just like, get me to the end of the season, get everybody healthy for sort of this FA Cup final. Hopefully that everybody's back. And honestly,
United
that's kind of
so odd to me that
you don't really have
like
a whole
you
lot
can
of bitching
watch
or moaning to do, because I've
first
kind of just
half and be
accepted
like,
where we're at right now.
These guys showed up today. They're
And sometimes
pinging a
you
little
forget
bit.
that.
This is nice, and then they actually just can't do it in the second half. Like it's been so many times this year where those games are never over until they're over, and they've left them wide open against everybody. They're scared of their own shadow.
Never. Yeah. Never. It's I mean, it's the biggest problem comes from just the lack of being able to get control of a game. And yes, some of that comes with playing 2 right backs as your wing back, one having to, I think the last 3 games we've seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Delo flip-flop right back and left back like 3 different times. But some of it is just like, I've said it, it's mentality. Some of these guys don't have it. Like some of them, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he cost us 2 games back to back. Some of these guys just don't have mentality. And truthfully, it's like Eriksen. Love the guy. He helps us keep possession. But the moment that a team like Burnley or Sheffield tries to go on a counter and you have Eriksen playing as a 6, one pass and they're beating him, they're in. And so it's just how I've accepted it. I'm going to keep not blaming Ten Hag for that shit. And truthfully, like I'm kind of sick of even talking about him, because obviously you guys know I want him to stay. But yeah, I mean, truthfully, it's Arsenal's a final and then the FA Cup final. So we'll see.
Bro,
Crop top it.
I am the biggest United fan that day when they play Arsenal. I mean, you give me, dude, I'll wear an extra small.
Hey,
I will.
Favorable referee, we win that game. Favorable referee, we win that game.
If Arsenal can drop a game, maybe a loss and a draw, my title hopes may come back.
If Arsenal play how they played yesterday, we have a shot. We got a shot in that game.
Yeah, but if they play like the other game I'm about to mention here in a second, you might not. So moving on from United to Chelsea. 5-0 loss to the Gooners of Arsenal in a 2-2 draw against Villa. Now, Nick, you've had some tough games.
Don't give them that.
You've had tough games. Like those are 2 great teams you got to play. You have a lot of
don't
injuries.
Don't tee them up like that.
You didn't had a lot of injuries for
you
the
didn't
entire
have
season.
Cole Palmer against Arsenal. I don't know if it would have made a difference. But talk to us about the 5-0 loss and the 2-2 draw.
Yeah, similarly to Dobes, Chelsea of late has literally Cole Palmer is the only person I enjoy watching when he's on the field. And against Arsenal, we did not have him, and I think it was kind of a very obvious showing of us not being able to possess the ball, and I think him not being in the lineup was a big reason why. Arsenal has been on fire of late, and obviously Winks has said it many times in this podcast of the fast break or the first 20 minutes of Arsenal. If you can kind of hang on for a little bit, you might have a chance. Obviously, we were not able to do so. And I'm not going to lie, I turned the game off after 3-0.
You guys, you had Gilchrist back right too, right?
Once I saw the third goal go in, I was not too thrilled. So I kind of turned it off after that. But we moved. Well, I mean, I sound like a broken record, but we haven't had the same back lineup for, I'm not kidding you, I don't think 2 consecutive. I think it's maybe we've had back-to-back the same back 4. And literally the same thing with the next game that we could talk about, the 2-2 draw. Like, we had
a completely different back 4
that we have. Once again, weren't able to stop anyone for the first 5 minutes because our defense is very confused and we allow another goal. But I don't know if Winks wants to talk about the Arsenal game anymore, to be fair.
I'd love to.
I don't think it was set up for us for success.
You were 8 in the last 8 matches undefeated, right?
Not, and that's what it was.
Did you? Still, you guys had chances.
Okay. Like Chelsea. We did.
Game. Yeah.
Well, in the Prem, yes, in the Prem.
Yes.
But it was coming off a loss to City. So I mean, it was one of those things. I saw the lineup and I wasn't expecting much. I was hoping maybe a draw, like a barn burner. But after I saw the first, it wasn't even the first half. I don't think I watched like the first 40 minutes and then was like, yeah, that's all I needed to see.
Did you turn it off after the third goal because it was 3-0 or because Kai scored on you guys?
It was because it was 3-0.
Okay. Just checking.
Well, no, it was obviously because of that. That's why I didn't say his name either.
That is good. That was
good. We moved. I thought the Twitter thing was funny. How they literally said everyone's name except him on the goals. I thought that was kind of funny.
I also loved how the Chelsea mannequin had his pants down.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too.
In the team shop. Oh.
Thought it was interesting that he sellied.
Why?
Wins a title with one club, will never with the other. I thought that was interesting.
Bold statement.
I mean, it's classic Arsenal.
Yeah,
bottle jobs.
You guys looked fucking atrocious. It looked like you had zero plan and zero identity coming into that, and I think that's why we were able to play exactly how we wanted to, and why it was as much of a massacre as it was. I do want to note. I know we played a terrible team, but I also know you guys talk so much shit on Ben White. He's so good, man. If you look back at when he first came to Arsenal and how he played right back, he was basically a springboard right back for Odegaard or Saka or whoever. To last year where he was one of our most consistent players, to this year where he's making early and late runs around Saka, combining with both Saka and Odegaard in the final third, getting crosses in, standing in front of keepers, being a little shit, or making back post runs. Like I said, he was one of our most consistent players last year, but he is nothing short of better than that this year. So to see him score 2, and Kai just absolutely made my day.
Dude, it's just the spray tans. That's what pisses me off the most.
Job said it, I think, and I laughed so hard. But was it you that said that guy's got to be solar powered or something like that?
Great.
Somebody said it. I can't remember who it was, but I laughed so hard.
I don't like how he tries
Ben
to
White's
unwrap
been good.
keepers'
He's been
gloves
really
on
consistent.
corner kicks,
The
maybe
spray
that's just
tan,
me.
that's
I
what
don't
kills
know.
me every time.
If that's all it takes to get you to not like a player, then that's sad as a coach.
I was about to say
That's the first time I've ever seen him do that, but that was
that was gonna be
hilarious.
my talk about the Spurs game.
I love that. See, I love that
Yeah.
shit. The shit housery, that has a place in the game for me forever.
Yes, as a center defensive mid, I was always trying to untuck shirts, pull socks down, like all that stuff. So that's
I could see it.
Inject it. I'm okay with it.
Dude, he's honestly, Winks, he's so smart. That's such a smart, intelligent thing to do. Like Dobes and I were talking on Xbox last night. Like we tell our kids to do the same thing at Lafayette. Like you're standing in the 6 on the goalie's like on his back or in front of him, and you're just a shithousery. You're just there to cause havoc.
Because
get him so good at it because he's not doing anything crazy enough to get himself called for a foul.
It's all subtle.
It takes one time. It takes one time getting in the goalie's way, and then psychologically, that the keeper that entire time is like, all right, where the fuck is this guy at? And we're not going to talk about the Spurs game now, but that's exactly what happens. Is he does it, and then you can see the goalie like looking. I love it. I used to do that shit. And Butchie's right. I tell our kids to do that as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I know we're talking about the Arsenal game. I did want to talk about the Villa-Chelsea game, though, because I do think there were some good takeaways and something happened that I haven't seen all year from us. We had an atrocious first half, and I think Unai had a perfect game plan. They scored early against us and then sat back in their low block and allowed us to possess the ball, which obviously I've said it many times in this podcast. We are awful at breaking down a low block. They're able to counter again and then get another goal. So going 2-0 into halftime, I was about to turn this game off as well. Similarly to the Arsenal game, we have never been able to come back after a second half when we were down, because I think I've said in this podcast before, Poach is not good in the locker room. But whatever he said during this game worked, because I think the second half was a completely different team. His halftime talk must have fired them up a little bit, because Caicedo, I thought, put in a fucking shift. It's the first time I saw him actually look half the value of what we paid for him, and that was just in one half. I also thought Gallagher has been our unsung hero the entire season, and I was very happy to see him score the tying goal. I thought it was a brilliant finish with his left foot. And then also the other one was Medwicki. I thought he played really well. I think there's a little ego in that man that I don't like, but I definitely think he's very talented.
For sure.
What do you think
I like him.
What do you think of Morgan Rogers' celebration?
I thought that was interesting and a little early for him to be doing that. But I think it's similarly like to the James Madison thing. Like I don't understand the thought of stealing someone else's celebration.
See, let me read a quote here for you. This is from Cole Palmer. He says, "My boy Morgan Rogers did that celebration against Middlesbrough and told me to do it, so I did it." So
so he maybe have the OG.
Stealing the celebration for a little bit.
Maybe right. But no, the only other thing I want to talk about, and Dubs brought it up in the group chat, was the pen call at the end.
That was horrible.
Diassi scored late in like the 90th minute. I thought it was going to be an incredible day for me, but it was called back for a push from Badia's Shield. I'm on the
it's a 50-50
I'm on the fence because obviously when you slow it down and you fucking look at it, it looks like a push.
This is football.
But like in the game of soccer, it's a contact sport.
I'm with you. You guys got hosed
and you're
on that.
supposed
You guys
to be
have
going
been
shoulder
the
up
victims
with
of
the
some
ball
rough
in the air,
crimes,
and I don't understand
in
why
my
it's
fair
completely
opinion.
fallen over.
I think it was soft and charming.
Yeah.
It was soft.
That's that shit that Ange said after the Arsenal game, to where it's like somebody miles away is saying, let's stop and go back and take a look at this little incident. Where in the notion of a game, if the ref doesn't call it, we don't even think twice about it. Like you don't even think twice about that action. I think that's where VAR gets it wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
but I'm very similar to Dobes in the fact that I'm just waiting for the season to end.
I just want to get excited about transfers. It's like I want to go.
Same.
I'll be like, all right, here we go.
I also, and Butch, I was shocked by the 6-month thing, because I think after this year, I'm like next year is going to be when I'm going to be critical on Poach. I think now that Hopefully some of the injuries will come back and he'll kind of have a summer and our team will age a little bit and have some experience. I'm going to definitely be judging him next season.
Well, see, Nick, I agree with you, and that's why I'm not giving Arnie more than 6 months, because he has a more experienced team.
No, you're right.
He has a much more experienced locker room than Poach. Poach has 22.
I'm also like, I'm telling you guys, we're going to be a whole different team when all these injuries come back. Like,
you guys both
a whole new lineup.
Brother, preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Oh, well, United's been healthy, bro.
I was going to say, Chelsea literally leads the league in.
Both you guys need
right
physio transfers in the summer.
Only healthy center back is
Trevor Chalobah was playing right back. What?
Our only healthy center back is Harry Maguire. Only one.
I think never mind. That was going to be a hot take.
All right.
Oh, that's a fact. I could go on an entire segment.
Have you guys seen
training.
the Felicity too? Yeah. Have you guys seen the
look at
Twitter
all
video?
The other Chelsea
that's like
people
what's
who have
harder
left
than
and
this?
had
It's
injuries
guys
here
doing
and look how
handstand
well they're
push-ups,
playing.
and then two guys like
Cheek
full
has
sprint
actually
on a
played an
treadmill
entire
throwing
season.
balls,
Like
like
that's
weighted
the first
balls
time he's
back
ever
to their
done it in his
trainers.
career. He didn't do it at
Someone
Chelsea.
quoted it was like
And
Pochettino's training sessions are harder than this. Apparently, everyone's going down.
All right, we're going to move to the game of all games, fellas. I want to hear who first, and that Winks, I want you just to freaking pop off after.
I think so too.
That's my win.
That's what Winks does every time.
Yeah, I just want you to wait and let it rip.
Just the football
that's
that was
my biggest
played.
wish.
And then we'll come back to some other topics.
We surprisingly
Spurs
may have
lost that
very
game.
similar views on
Spurs
on
lost
some of
that
this.
game
I'm excited
in moments and situations that they are extremely weak at handling within games. So the credit from me to Arsenal is that they capitalized on their few opportunities really well, and they are a really good set-piece taking team, and we are probably the worst set-piece defending team that I've ever seen in my entire life. So 2 goals on corners sucks, especially when like watching the ball go out in a corner has fans' stomachs dropping. Like that, that there's an issue there. Like I knew in my soul they were going to score 1 corner at least.
Besides Chelsea.
So to have Højbjerg just smoke one in front post sucks. I was watching this in bed, TV on, like muted. It went in the net, and I was just like, that tracks. The second one, again, long ball. Like, these are the things that Spurs are documented at not doing well. A long ball over the top. Ben Davies, one of your oldest serving, defenders, doesn't realize that Saka's dominantly left-footed and cuts in on his left foot every single opportunity he can and doesn't close that off. So that's pretty much 100% on Ben Davies. Unbelievable, actually. Unbelievable decision. I could have defended that. He was going to shift in on his left. The settle to bring it down.
I'm very happy.
Yes.
I'm very happy you said that because everyone was freaking out about Saka's goal.
Aspects.
And I was like,
those aspects were really
know he's
positive
going
for
left.
Arsenal. Totally forgetting that he is left-footed.
What a touch.
Drives me absolutely insane. You just can't. You give him the shot on his right foot in that situation.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what he's going to do.
Anyway, sorry.
And Ben looked like fucking Bambi out there and had no idea what to do. Was on skates. So that was really disappointing. And then, obviously the third one, Ben White, I was a shithouser too. Ben White grabbing the wrist straps on Vicario's gloves. I get it. I hate Ben White. I defend right backs. He's been a good right back this year. I hate Ben White. The guy's a wank. He's got a wank mentality. He's an absolute pussy for not going to the camp and just rejecting to play for his country. That's some weak mentality bullshit. But the rest of what he's done for Arsenal this year, great. Good for him. That's awesome. You're so great. Tans are looking solid, bro. Keep going back to Dubai. It's done you well. And you know what? I never thought Spurs were out of it. My dumb ass sat there disappointed, very disappointed, clearly. But I never thought they were out of it. It's just the way that we've seen them play. They've always got a fucking chance. Romero hits a post in the first half. From a yard. I don't know if you saw that party screenshot, but that's a definition pass interference on a cornerback. Was that the second half where you hit the post?
From a yard.
Yeah. Yeah. The Van de Ven offsides call.
That was the second half, though, wasn't it?
Look, like
I'm talking about
we've
his
seen
first
it.
one on the back post where he just smokes the back post
Brother,
from a yard out.
He hit the bar in the first half, and I think
when
he hit
he's
the back
on,
post in the second
he's
half.
had one game, and it was against Newcastle where he just looked like a fucking idiot. But when he's on, he's absolutely disgusting. Oh, yeah, he did. He's so good. And he's the only reason the Spurs have done okay at all because no one else can cover the ground that he covers, and we have balls on top all the time. So
different, bro.
That offsides call, it's like I can't sit here and be like we were robbed on that one just because of the way that we've seen the game called this entire year. That's just what it is. We saw it with Coventry. We've seen it with everyone's got one of those, millimeter type calls. Coventry. Oh, I don't know, brother. The hard part on that call is that like Tomiyasu plays the ball. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't a pass, but it was a deliberate action on the ball to stop the shot from coming in, to flex off his own player, Mickey Van de Ven's in. So that's what the murkiness of the call to me comes from that. I think he was offsides. I'm cool with that. Millimeters. Again, VAR sucking the life out of games by just not letting anybody fucking celebrate a goal anymore. But again, it was 3-0 at half, and I was just like, I'm never counting them out. There's still a chance. David Raya's aura, incredible. What a hell of a back pass out of the back. That was awesome. I laughed. I wasn't like, oh, hell yeah, goal. I was like, pah, what an idiot. That's so funny. So that was good. And Romero was the only one that was out there trying to do anything. And Richie came in and looked like an absolute chicken with his head cut off. But sometimes you need those types of guys. And then the pen that Michael Oliver didn't deem a pen until, someone miles away was like, hey, man, he kicked him square in the nuts. You should maybe come take a look at this. Even Rice's reaction after the no call, he was like, I don't know. Yeah, he's like, man, that's but they crawled back in it. It sucks. It sucks so much. I haven't even mentioned the Decky thing because I've got a notes page spiel loaded up. But, when we're talking about the sport and the football that was played, I thought Spurs were the better team. I thought they deserved more out of it. But when you look at individual moments that have been the key issue the entire year, and you're like, wow, we let 2 goals in off a corner again, and, we let another long ball. That's just, you can't say anything outside of they lost it. Spurs lost it. It wasn't refereeing. Merit, cool, great. They won the field tilt, which is a classic Arsenal, fan banter. So, whatever. I was pissed. You never want to see it. I was physically ill for so many different reasons on Sunday morning, but specifically this one just had me I did a really good job of ignoring it for the first 6 hours, and then I got home and I'm just scrolling Twitter, and I was sending Henry and Dobes just tweet after tweet after tweet. It's not gone. Yeah, what are your footballing thoughts here, Winks? We've still got more comments from Michael.
I was gonna say you can tell who will send stuff even in our group message, and I'm just like, oh, who's thinking about the game right now?
It was a weird ass game. Rewatching it. The saddest part for me was that you guys had 15 days off to prepare for this game. Meanwhile, we were playing 3 games. I don't know what the excuse was there, but going back in and rewatching and watching the deeper highlights, we did not look like the better team in the first half, but went up 3-0. And then for at least the first 3 quarters of the second half, I thought we looked like the better team, but gave up 2 goals. So yeah, weird. You know it, I know it, everybody knows that this game's always super nervy and tensions are always super high, especially knowing this year what's at stake for both teams, with you guys trying to, make top 4, top 5, and us trying to win the league. I think a couple bounces go a different way, like Romero drilling the post on Madison's set piece. Yeah. Vicario not getting a toe on Saka's, backdoor attempt, rebound attempt. Pens getting called, not getting called, like it's just a totally different game. So I think things, just went our way, and it's as simple as that. I'm never going to be the one to say that, we should have won or lost a game in particular, but I will be one to say we could have if things went different. I think, like you talked about, I just want to put a big exclamation point on the fact that, like, it came down to moments. Both sides had opportunities to score more or stop goals that did go in, and things just went our way. But
both
I agree.
deliveries
I think
were excellent.
Set pieces were huge for us.
Top notch.
Regardless of Højbjerg's being an own goal. I feel like we've been very solid about making a presence inside the box, both in the runs and getting in front of, key defenders and keepers and things like that. I thought Kai...
I was going to say,
yeah.
Well, both of you guys have players who can deliver balls on set
For
pieces.
sure, yeah, because Madison had a couple that were
his ball to Romero was insane.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite thing, though, was there was a Spurs phone video taken from Declan Rice's corner, so the third goal that Kai scored, and you just see, I think the guy was in like the 5th or 6th row, maybe a little farther back, and he's just like recording Rice walking back with the ball to set it, and obviously, the Spurs fans are going fucking ballistic on him, and he's just smiling at him, and then he turns around, sets the ball down, ball goes in, and then everybody celebrates with the antlers in the corner, looking at all those fucks that were talking shit. And that, when I watched the game back, obviously they didn't show that directly, but like seeing it on Twitter last night at the airport, I immediately went and got another airport beer and celebrated. But yeah, I think that a lot could have gone a lot different in a ton of different ways in the game, but I'm glad that we took advantage of the moments that we did and hung in there. And outside of this game in particular, the way that we've rebounded after being knocked out by Bayern is special to me, because I think a lot of us thought that, if we lost the Champions League or got knocked out, that the rest of our season would crumble. And so to get 9 points from our first 3 games in the Prem since getting knocked out is huge. And obviously the last 3 games we need to do the same thing. So good game, weird game. I feel like the last couple of times that we've met, maybe like one of the games last season and this game, obviously they're, with red cards and other calls, and just like I just want to have a fucking normal dogfight against you guys one of these days.
I've said this. I said it to Griff last night. This is one of those to where you look at all sports, whether it be like hockey. I don't know if anybody watched that. The Nashville, Vancouver, where one bounce went Vancouver's way, didn't score in the empty netter. Vancouver comes back and wins. Whether it be the NFL, where the fumble. It's like championship teams sometimes just have those moments. And I feel like Arsenal has had a ton of those this year, where I would say for 90% of that game yesterday, Spurs were 10 times better than Arsenal were. I don't know if that was the game plan, because it didn't seem like it to start that Arsenal was going to sit in. But then they had 3 chances, and the moments they could control with set pieces, and they took the most of them. And truthfully, like, I still think that City has an edge to win the league, but like, that's what great teams do is when they aren't playing their best, they find 3 ways to score and they take their 3 chances. And like, they have that feel about
He's
them.
really
As much
good.
as I hate to
Yeah.
say it, they really do have that feel about
The
them. in the Prem.
what
I
I love,
agree. I literally that's the
and I
difference I
haven't
think
and I
between
haven't
them
said I
last
haven't
year and
attacked
this year.
anybody, but
Similarly what you said, I still think
the
City
attitude
probably
We
won
learned
the
from it.
title.
towards
But
the
yeah,
game.
like
I was
last year,
happier
you guys were not winning that game,
to
or
be
at
a
least
Spurs fan
drawing it
that day,
because
and
you
just the
guys are
way that
bottling.
and
But
I
think
get it.
you
There's
guys showed a little
gamesmanship,
bit of
there's
maturity.
shithousery, there's things like that,
Declan
and that's
Rice, I think,
football.
is
That's what you
so
love about it.
fucking good, and it hurts me every
The
time I have to
attitude
say
that
that.
some of the Arsenal players had on the pitch bothered me, rubbed me the wrong way. And you take the life out of the game when you go down and make meals of tackles and stuff. I was proud of the way that the Spurs played and dealt with it. I was happy to be a Spurs fan, and I really feel that for the most part over the course of the year, there's been moments, obviously, but they have that attitude, and I think a lot of it goes down to Ange and just the way that he instills it into him. Is like, we're here to play, and we should play, and just keep playing. We're at our best when we're scoring 4 or 5 goals. And I do also love that he just refuses to blame refereeing, and the way that we've seen Nottingham Forest and Klopp and Arteta and Pep and, everyone's got their own individual moments where someone comes out and in an interview they say, can't believe how this they can't believe how this refereeing decision, and they were right in a lot of aspects, but he just refuses to be like, they didn't call it right. He triple and quadruples down on, he hates VAR. He hates that the game's not being refereed immediately, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Like the specific situation with Decky, Kulusevski cuts in, gets a ball back from somebody from Sonny, and it was the tiniest little of nicks on his left foot. He's running on. Trossard gives the tiniest little of nicks, and he's rushing onto the ball, and he stays on his feet, which in our world and in most people's world is extremely admirable in situations and positions where, like, it matters. not 2 seconds later after that, he just goes down. That was a soft attempt at trying to draw contact and get a pen.
Trossard,
But Kulusevski stays on his feet, and you can see him stumbling. They go to the replay, it nicks his back foot, and then he clips himself, but he wanted that shot. He was staying on his feet. He was trying to get his feet underneath him, couldn't do it, has to lay it off. That's a problem because it leads directly to a goal. I would feel, I don't necessarily think it's a strong or nailed on pen, but in the situation like that, to where Arsenal picked the ball up, 2 passes, goal, we're letting the VAR refs do the refereeing. I don't think Michael Oliver had any intention to continue, and every time there were situations in the box, he was just going to let them be, because somebody else somewhere was going to come in and be like, hey, I think you should come take a look at this. Which the VAR did tell Michael Oliver to go take a look at that trip in the box after the goal. They confirmed it in the NBC broadcast at halftime. They told him to go take a look at it, and he said no. So that pisses me off. That wholeheartedly pisses me off. The fact
It's gonna make the call. I didn't know that. That's kind of fucked.
sell it.
I thought
Sure.
I thought about that a lot. I think that I agree it's not like a clear and concise pen, but I think that the fact that it
Yeah.
led to a goal made it probably it's tough, because I understand what you mean when you say that you like respect the Spurs guys for how, or at least him in that specific instance, how he didn't go down and do what Bruno probably would have done in that situation. But at the same time, unfortunately, it is a super tactical move in certain situations.
If
And I
it
think that
wasn't
if
in the
he
box,
sells it,
I
on the first
genuinely
clip,
think if it wasn't
probably
in the
gets
box, if he was
called
2 steps
when we don't
outside
get
of
the
the
counter.
18,
Sucks.
you
So
guys coming
it
down and
sucks
score
so
that goal.
much
The problem
for you
was is
guys
he wasn't going
that
to
because a
re-referee it to the
player
point of
doesn't want
no
to
goal
do the
to
European
Arsenal
flop
straight
that
into a
has plagued
PK
soccer.
for Spurs
I'll say,
because
I think it
that's
sucks for the sport, not even
Yeah,
just for
semi-egregious.
them.
that you guys
that's
got,
that's like an
you know,
entirely
the shit end of the
game-changing
stick.
for
Right.
sure.
It's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a drastic decision. Yeah.
Mhm.
And as a ref, that's in the back of their head for
That's what
sure.
I'm saying. So like if that had happened and
Yeah,
you know,
I think you're right.
we start a counter but the ball gets knocked out of bounds somewhere, I think that Oliver probably does take a second to look at it, but because in arguably the most, you know, one of the most well-known rivalries in the Premier League,
That,
in world
that
soccer,
one drives me up a wall. And one more instance
that we
too is like when
scored
Party
off of
turns
it.
and it
I
was
just-
Romero's back post.
watching the
He's a
game back
yard
again,
away,
I didn't see
seriously.
it in the
Again,
moment.
I think again,
I was
truthfully,
slicing my
and again,
driver,
we're looking
but
at
when I
screenshots,
went
so
back to
that's the
watch it,
issue. You know, we're not
love the
in
honesty.
real time. Party's push on
Yeah,
Romero did
I
not
think
look
that
like
was
a foul.
that had to have been
Romero
the biggest
skied his
reason,
ass,
compounded with
gets
him
to the
not
ball,
wanting
drills
to
one off
sell
the
it
back
for
post,
whatever reason.
and then you go back and look at it, and Party is literally like textbook, not looking at the ball, shoving his chest, and it falls 2 inches to the right where it doesn't go in off the post or it just hits the post itself. Like we don't want to come down to these slow-mo instances, but it happens every game. Why did it not happen this time?
I was gonna say, I think
What have you seen the screenshot? He's facing him, doesn't know where the ball is, and has his hands on his chest.
I also think Party's just hanging on for dear life. I don't think he's pushing him. Because I see the screenshot. The only reason I say this is because
Yeah.
I have been in a similar situation where Keith Griesaver is
But what's the
2
whole
feet
season
above
been
me,
called
and I am
on?
just hanging
Slow-mo
on for dear
screenshot.
life,
Like
and the
we're
man
we're
buries
we're
one in the
talking
back
about a
of the
game
net.
of
Like,
margins, and in this
I'm
game
just saying,
we missed
like,
3
in
margins.
time, in
There
real
were
time,
3
it
different
did not
times where
look
it was
like an
called down to a
outrageous
margin
shove.
or
It
wasn't
didn't
called
look like
to a
Romero
margin
was like
after an entire
completely
season
thrown
of
off
letting these
balance or
slow-mo
directed
over
his
and
head
over and over
indifferently.
replays,
I'm just saying,
3
like, the
referee
slow-mo
decisions.
screenshots
So then for
sometimes
Michael
don't
Oliver to
portray
come out and just
everything going
not
on.
do that. Like we beg for
I agree.
consistency
You're right.
in this
You're
podcast.
right. No, you're right.
And
You're
we
100%
didn't
right
get
with that.
consistency in
100%
this
right.
game. Like this game specifically. Nothing was the way that it's gone all year. Yeah, we haven't gotten that for a very long time, and we're not going to get it. VAR's ruined the game for me. So if that's the takeaway from all this, I just want to celebrate goals
I
again, bro.
agree. Hoove, we haven't got it. We haven't got that in a very long time.
It's a meaty
That's
peg.
true.
Nope. As long as VAR's here. No, I agree. I 100% agree.
Who've also I agree. And I'm going to say this to keep your spirits up. I wholeheartedly, from the bottom of, hey, you see this
Yeah,
right here,
well,
bro.
Spurs are going to play
Right
the
here.
kids against Man
Okay.
City, and
That you're gonna be in the Champions
4-0
League.
on that. Just
You're going to be in the Champions League. You're
swipe
2
out the
games
other
in
side of
hand
it,
on
but-
Aston Villa. You have a tough run, but I think
I
Spurs
appreciate
are
it, man.
going to
That
be
means
in
a
the
lot. I
Champions League.
appreciate it.
He just wants them to beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about your fucking Champions
I-
League. You fucking
I-
selfish
I-
little
I-
shit.
24 hours too late for that.
I believe it, bro. I think it's going to happen.
I was going to say, Arsenal finished second again?
Well, listen. Yeah, that's from deep down the soul, man. You know, sometimes
But,
you gotta dig down there.
Yeah, I think to close out that game, genuinely, Hoove, I wish.
Yeah.
I'm glad
And it
what
was
happened
electric.
happened.
Frankly,
London,
Yeah.
North London, and London in general, for that matter, has never been more red. but
20 years, brother.
I
20
cannot
fucking
wait
years.
for the day that a
Yeah.
game between us is fairly reffed.
Stayed, burned down.
Minimal cards, no reds at least, and we can see, full strength 11v11, an absolute dogfight. And and honestly, I would love for it to be at the Emirates, but I would love to see it at like a third party stadium too, where it's like half and half. That might start a war.
You love to hate him. You don't ever
the
not
seats.
think about
Yeah,
him. Like,
it would be
top
sick.
of the mind, frankly.
I fucking love Winks' banner today. He just he's dishing it out. Like, I love this.
I feel like I've been very level-headed about this.
That was such a nice, subtle, like, London's red.
Well,
like, even after the rain.
I hate him, but I love him. It's one of those. I love to hate him.
Love to hate him, baby. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's going to end our Premier League talk. We're going to quickly skim through these champions. Oh my God, I'm botching the words here. We're going to quickly go over these Champions League fixtures this week. Tasty semifinals. Tuesday, tomorrow, we'll all be tuning in. We've got Bayern Munich against Real Madrid. And
I think this is so spicy.
Bro, it is so hot, bro.
I think it's so spicy. I am so pumped for the midfield 3 battle. I'm also pumped to see Harry Kane go up against Rudiger again.
Dude.
I'm thrilled for this matchup. I think Jude has been the best player in the world this year, and I think he's going to lead that team. I also think Kane is a curse, and he is not going to win a trophy.
Bro, I think Harold Kane is going to bag at least 2 over 2 legs. At least.
2 over 2 legs I can see, but I don't think they advance. Do you think they advance? I don't think they advance. I think Real Madrid.
Hear me out. Bayern's getting back Gnabry, Coleman.
I think
they're getting all their speed back.
We're splitting hairs here too, because
neither of those names blew me away.
Bro,
probably
they are
Man
so
City.
rapid.
I think Bayern's
what
the
did
best
Real Madrid
and I think Tommy Tuchel is one of the best
one-game coaches. We've seen this over Real Madrid's wingbacks are going to struggle against pace, dude. Carvajal ain't keeping up with fucking Coleman.
Arsenal.
We'll see.
I don't think that was a flash.
No shot.
Like that was an extremely tactical performance, both legs, and they were so good. So I don't think we can. I think so too. I think Real Madrid's the best team in the world.
Okay, I agree with that.
Them are City, and they beat City in pens. So
I know that all too well.
We're gonna see a heavyweight bout here. Like, regardless of the form that Bayern's been in, regardless of how they've played over the course of the year, they've got 2 games to leave with something. And like from not just Harry Kane's
I agree, but I also
Harry
think
Kane's
Real Madrid is
obviously
better
probably
than
the
Arsenal.
hungriest of all of them. But they all win something every year. Like, that's just what Bayern Munich does. So I don't think we're talking about a clean sweep here. I do think Real Madrid still goes through, just because they're so good at so many different places. But I think we're talking about an extremely tight tie.
True.
And as we've seen, the Allianz is a terrifying place to play. So and so is the Bourbonal. But it's just gonna come down to who's better tactically, I think. I think Bayern can do it, but I also think Real Madrid have the guys that can do things outside of tactics that Bayern don't. So that's where we're at.
Oh, I agree with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've been kind of a two-horse pony show. You know what I mean? But I did see Tuchel come out and say this week that today,
in
actually,
order
he was
for
like,
Bayern
Serge
to
Gnabry's going to
advance,
score tomorrow.
Musiala
He's like, I don't know why,
needs
I don't know
to,
how,
but
but
he's
gonna score tomorrow.
And make himself
that was
like a superstar.
wild.
Because I think Jude's going to be doing that on
comment
that
to me
end,
to say
and I
that
think
in
they
the
need
pregame
someone
presser
on their end to be doing it as well.
Yeah. What are your predictions? I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, I think I said that. To be
I'm
fair,
a
I said that
Tommy
about Man
Tukes
City and
truther,
Real
so-
Madrid. So, ooh.
I believe him.
Very, very confident. Very confident moment. But dude, I think Bayern's going to go through.
I have
I'm
Madrid
just, I have a
Really?
too,
feeling,
I think,
dude.
and it's
I have a
just gonna
feeling
be.
deep down
I
in
think
my
it's gonna go. I think
corners,
it's gonna be
bro.
pens.
I think the
it's
winner
gonna
of
be
this
extra
game
time.
wins the whole thing.
I think it's gonna be a
Or the
nail
winner of
biter.
this tie wins the whole
But
thing.
I got Madrid.
I
For
agree
sure.
with that too.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tasty, bro. I don't know.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be really spicy. I just see Real Madrid advancing.
We can't have anyone coming back to some
Yeah.
old recordings and
It's gonna
being
be
like,
it's gonna be
"Gucci's
fun.
popping a what? He said
off.
that how
Listen,
many
I'm off
times?"
7th hour. I don't have a class 7th hour. Oh, buddy. I'm
Getting some
kicking my
popcorn?
feet up. I am gonna pop a literal Coca-Cola, pull it out of the fridge, and I'm going to watch it in my
I
room.
love how he had to
I'm
clarify a literal
I'm
Coca-Cola.
serious, dude. Like, I'm gonna just enjoy it so much and sit back and just relax. I'm so pumped. No, this is a literal Coca-Cola, okay? Actual soda, okay? Okay, so next up, Wednesday, we got PSG Dortmund. First leg is in Dortmund, by the way. We can't count Dortmund out because they've surprised us a little bit in this competition. So they knocked out Atletico Madrid, who I had picked to kind of go far.
Yeah, see, you say that, and I'm thinking that way towards PSG. Like, I feel like we haven't really been talking about them. No one's really been talking about them that much, and they've scored 11 goals in their last 3 games. Like, I'm like, as much as I just said, I think the winner is going to come from Bayern and Real Madrid. I think PSG is kind of that sleeper that, like, Mbappe can go off whenever he wants and just have himself a game and score and bag 2.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I think Dortmund's been playing well.
Dortmund's just a surprise. You know, they're just kind of a surprise team to watch.
No, I agree. And I also think Sancho finding form there is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Sancho's starting to, like, he's not scoring a ton, but he's starting to play well, consistently play. Like, he's dribbling, he's beating guys, he's creating chances, and that's obviously important. But I do agree. I think this could come down to PSG could be a little too strong.
Yeah.
For them, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Dortmund keeps it a bit closer than we think.
Yeah, I agree with. Once again, I think both of these ties, and especially in semis of Champions Leagues, like, I don't think it's ever going to be like one team blows the other team away. So, like, I definitely think it's going to be a close game, but I feel like we're kind of downplaying PSG when, like, they've been playing well.
Yeah, 100%. Either way, we've got two tasty, two incredibly good semifinals.
Yes.
So
I'm pumped. Even though my team probably won't be in that competition for a while.
Hey man, you never know.
Maybe next year. Yeah, I'm hoping next year.
You just got to do a quick hey man and move on. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, I'd like to do a little blind rankings here. You know, it's different. I know.
I'm down.
I know that I like different sometimes, and we'll be quick with this, but I'm going to give you 10 players that you guys have to blind rank.
Oh,
and they are
got this.
MLS players.
Oh, MLS players?
The MLS, 10 of the best players in the league.
Okay.
And Messi cannot be included because it's too easy with Messi.
Okay. I love that I'm the person that's going to be it, but I mean, I'm down.
I know Dobes is dealing with his dog shitting in the house, and I know Hoove is having some technical problems at the moment. But
we definitely need. See if we can get him on this.
We definitely need. We need Hoove to. We definitely need Hoove's insight on this because Hoove is an MLS truther. and
I was
we
gonna
need.
say that reaction from Hoove. I don't know about that.
I think he knows the league and he knows the players.
Did you hear what the blind ranking is, Hoove? Got you. Yeah, Hoove might not be coming through. He's kind of going in and out.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, here's what we'll do. We will actually stop there.
We can also run a factor cap.
I was going to say, we're going to
You got a
stop there.
factor
We're going to
cap?
go ahead and save this. We do have a few technical difficulties, so we apologize to our listeners. And Dobes' dog is literally shitting in the house, and he's probably cleaning it up right now.
If
So,
you've made it this far in the podcast, we appreciate you.
yeah, we do appreciate you, but we just have a few technical difficulties, and I'd rather keep this for when we've got a full loaded cast.
I agree with
I
that.
think it'd be a little more juicy. But no, quick factor cap. I can pull this off the top of the dome, and I'm gonna keep it 100% here in the Champions League, since we were talking about the Champions League. Okay. If Real Madrid wins the Champions League, does Jude win the Ballon d'Or? Factor cap.
Fact. And I think he's deserving of it.
Because this is a really big deal, guys. Like, Messi's dominance is going to end because of the league he plays in. He's not going to win another one, him being in the MLS. It's going to stay. It's going to go back to Europe. And the Champions League is going to be the biggest factor here. They're going to look at who was the big dog, who carried them through. They've also already won La Liga. They've already secured La Liga, basically. So Jude he's been the guy. I mean, he's got 21 goals, 10 assists in 36 games this season for Real Madrid. If they win it all, Hoove, what do you think? Is he winning the Ballon d'Or? Thumbs up. Okay, we got a thumbs up from Hoove in agreement there. And honestly, guys,
I don't know if this is true or not, but it says he has 30 appearances and 11 goals, 9 assists in the Champions League.
in total appearances, yes, total like in his career, I think. True.
That's
true. But this season alone, dude, he's got 31 goal contributions out of 36 games from midfield.
I think Zidane said it best. I don't even know if this was Zidane. I may have just capped there, but I think Messi and Ronaldo's era is ending, and no one has taken the reins like Jude Bellingham, I think.
That's true. Jude Bellingham has 100% kind of just said, I'm the dude.
Yeah, and I love his persona. I love his attitude. I love the way he plays. I love his celebration. Yeah, I think he's the real deal.
And I'm with you.
I was going to say, that's the only other... Yep. And to be fair, Hoove, that's what you kind of missed when we were talking about the PSG is like, I kind of brought it up. We're kind of downplaying them a little bit. Like, they've scored 11 goals in their last 3 games. They're a goal scoring machine. So like they could definitely pop off for a couple of goals against Dortmund.
100%. But a part of me wants Jude to win it because I like Mbappe. He's a star, but his Mbappe's aura rubs me the wrong way.
He's going to Real Madrid.
And I think Jude's just a humble, down to earth, I'm going to work harder than you kind of dude. He's just been unbelievable. He's a Birmingham chap, bro. All right, well that'll be it for this week's episode. As always, we're just 6 bruvs being blokes, 6 mates being lads, and we had some fun tonight. And there was some banter. There was a lot of stuff spoken about, and we hope you enjoyed it. As always, follow us on our social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We'll be popping off on there. As always, thank you for your patience, and thank you for listening. Peace out.
London is blue. Cheers, boys.
Oh, shit.